guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited to make this video. You guys know what this is about. This is a video we've all been waiting for, especially myself. Like, I have been so excited. I can remember a year ago, whenever I decided I was gonna commit to this, that I was already excited. Like, I couldn't sleep at night a year ago. Now, I will say the excitement has become kind of numb, and I think that's just because it doesn't feel like it's anytime soon because I've already been waiting so long. But it is finally here, and I want to tell a backstory. I said in the last video that the car was going to Florida. I didn't mention who the car was going to, and I originally had a whole video planned for that, but that kind of got scratched due to certain situations right now. So the plan was we were going to go to his shop, at his house. It's crazy to some people, me sending my car in Florida to some random guy's house. But that's what I was doing. I was sending it to his house, and you may have saw it on his Instagram if you follow him. But anyways, I guess I'll cut straight to it. It is Whitezilla on Instagram. Now it is WZ_speed3. That is now his Instagram. He has a YouTube channel, does all kinds of cool stuff on there with his car. His car is absolutely insane. But he built my car for me. The engine was built by Speed Performance, for you guys that don't know. And then he actually installed everything for me. I wanted to install it myself, but I don't have the time. And I'm not an expert. It would be learning. I think I could do it, but it would be learning. I've done a lot of stuff to cars, but nothing to that extent. So, anyways, I think I should probably shut up. That was cool. The plan was to make a video going to his house, seeing his car and all that, but currently with my job, I was not able to take off to make it there. So, but right now we are day before the car shows up, and but I'm gonna shut up so you guys can see what happens tomorrow. So I figured I'd give you guys a quick rundown of the setup that I'm running. I've already talked about the setup that I was gonna be running, but I think I wanted to go ahead and show you exactly what everything looks like. Everything fully put together. I'm so happy with it. Sounds so good too. Anyways, I guess I'll start off with the fully built motor by SP63, or also known as Speed Performance. And as you can tell, I mean, there's not really much to tell about what work they did, but you can see, that there's a lot going on here. So, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about my turbo setup too. So I am running a Precision Gen 2 6266 Precision, as you can see right there, and I had everything powder coated red. And then when I talk about my intake and my exhaust setup, all that is DTP Fab. You guys probably know him from Facebook and Instagram. Makes hands down best exhaust parts for the Mazdaspeeds, 100%. And I have this manifold also, the V1 version. And so I guess I'll tell the build specs of my engine. I'm running, of course, full built bottom end and the head. All that's fully built. So I guess I'll go ahead and talk about that. So we have mainly H-Tough rods. We have 625 CA head studs, ARP main studs, and then balance shaft delete, and then we have 85-pound valve springs. This engine has been re-sleeved because it is a 2.5 bottom end. Key crank, SP63 stage 3 camshafts, and it has their upgraded VVT also. So it's there's a lot going on. It is a very well built motor, and so yeah, and of course we're running the JMF manifold, as you guys can see there, and we're running HKS blow-off valve as well. So another thing I wanted to talk about is my headlights. They are built by David Terlizzi on Facebook. You guys probably have seen his headlights. They look very good. They're not lit up right now, obviously, but you can see that they're there. They are RGB halos and demon eyes, and you've probably seen the etching on the headlights before he posted it on his Facebook. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but if you have, it was pretty cool. So far as fueling wise, I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious. You see all this stuff, but of course if you don't have the fuel, then you can't really make power. So what we're running right now is a Hellcat 525 in tank pump, so it's still in stock gas tank. I don't have a fuel cell, and that is going to my direct injection and my port injection. My port injection is unplugged right now because I'm still on a base map. Of course, we'll get all that. I gotta still get the engine broke in and all that good stuff, but yeah, that's it for the injectors. And the port injectors are 2200 cc Bosch, so I have enough fuel for any power I could ever want to make on that end. The only restriction I see is the in-tank pump, the Hellcat pump. I wanna see 800, but we'll see. I think that will be our limitation, if anything. The turbo, 62, 66 isn't rated much more than 800, so, but with this engine, they make so much power effortlessly. Like with these cams, I have a buddy, his name is Ryan Simis, I think is how you pronounce it. He used to work for SP63, and you guys may have seen his car on their channel. It's a black Gen 2, it made 795, and I don't remember the torque, but it made 795 at 34 psi on E60. 34 psi making it 795 is very unheard of for this platform. Usually you're pushing like 40 plus pounds of boost to make that kind of power, but with the 2.5 you can make it a lot easier. So I think that's gonna take a little stress off the turbo, so we don't have to worry about that as much, and should be able to send 800 if I have enough fuel. I'm not gonna push it in the danger zone reliably. If I don't have the fuel, I'm not gonna keep trying. So that's pretty much it for the setup, I do believe. Oh, I wanted to talk about my intercooler also. So this is a Treadstone TR1325. It's rated at like 760 horsepower, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's gonna hold me for what I want to do with it. And for you guys that don't know, with intercoolers, it may say your rating is, say, I don't know, 600 horsepower, but like a lot of times you can push it to maybe 8. That's just the efficiency level, pretty much. You can push them farther than that. So I have plenty of that. And then on top of that, so I have Damon's newest oil cooler. You're not gonna be able to see it. It's kind of tucked away. Their oil cooler, I just now got their kit. That's what I put on the car, and then also has an upgraded radiator. It's the I think it's Koyorad is the company for it. And for you guys that don't know, also this is a question. I kind of just bought it, and ignore my wiring right here. This is to my headlights, and later on I'm gonna do something with this. But this battery box, so this is a Corksport battery box, and we have a 4-inch DTP fab intake. Usually, that's kind of like you don't know if it's gonna fit or not, so it's kind of like a so I took the chance, and it ended up fitting, so we're good there. So that's awesome. And for you guys that also have his intake or inlet, it fits, so go ahead and buy it. If you're wondering, it's gonna make it look 10,000 times cleaner versus having to do a battery relocation or just have an ugly battery sitting there. So I think that's it for the setup. I'm going to give you guys a quick startup and a couple revs and show you what it sounds like, and then we might take it for a drive in a minute too. So probably could not see, and I don't know how well you can hear me, but the cutout is still like revealed, like far as where it was cut, and I'm actually getting a plate that's going to cover that up, so it'll look a lot prettier, the cut will. And I also want to show you guys my gauges, and I'm going to tell you why I'm running each gauge. So here are my gauges, and I have a Corksport oil pressure and oil temp, and then I have an ethanol gauge. The ethanol gauge is just because different times around the year, you know, there's different percentages of ethanol, basically in the wintertime and now, and I don't know if I'm ever going to run a mix. So I always have that, because if you were off your mix, then you are a potential of zoom, zoom, boom. And then of course the oil temp and oil pressure kind of speak for themselves. I want to know that my engine is like having good oil pressure, because if not, I know there's an issue. And then my temp is just, you know, making sure everything is not running too hot. And then on top of that, I want to know what it's at before I start driving it. So, but I think I'm about to go for a drive, and I'm going to take you guys with me. So. Days later, it's more than a couple days, but I've got so busy just like with the excitement and just like driving the car that I haven't filmed much, but I plan on doing it. I'm gonna film more and give you guys more information about the car. You know, you guys already saw the previous clip, wanted to include that in this video, what I'm talking about right now. But so my AC, actually, I didn't think anything about it. So my AC, a lot of my AC parts were taken off the car for everything to be installed and then put back on. So my AC needed to be recharged. And so most people this kind of build don't run AC, but I would prefer it because it's an easy option, you know? I mean, if it's so easy to keep, then why wouldn't you keep it, you know? So it was easy to keep, so I kept it. And I had to go charge my AC, and now it's blowing cold. At first, I wanted to keep the windows down anyways, you know, get it out of my system, but I've heard this car enough now that, like, I would prefer to be cool kind of too, you know, so, but it's back up and going. I got my AC going, and we're going for a cruise right now, getting in my mileage for break-in, you know, so yeah. Yep. So I am about to wash my car, and I have to do one of my oil changes. So for you guys that don't know, when you have, like, you're doing an engine break-in, there's a bunch of oil changes you have to do. And I think, let's see here, on my third one. This is the third one, I think. Yeah, this will be my third change, but I'm gonna pull it in real quick. And I thought I'd just like let you guys hear what it sounds like in here, because the turbo spool is absolutely nuts. This video is kind of all over the place, honestly, but I think you guys might enjoy it anyways. Alright, so oil change done. Now I'm gonna clean it up. But as you notice, I had a horn here, and Watzilla actually installed that for me, this horn, and so he went ahead and wired for the other horn, but I had to install it because he didn't have the other horn at the time. So anyways, so I got it mounted up, and it's over here. I had to drill a hole and all that stuff for it in my crash bar. But it's done now. It looks great. And now I'm gonna give you guys a startup real quick.